Welcome to the Eras Tour Sustainable Systems Thinking Project. This project was prepared by Abrielle Hamilton for SUS 300. I have contained my Taylor Swift puns to the introduction and conclusion, but I apologize in advance to the non-Swifties watching this presentation. Call it what you want, but I believe that the entertainment industry stands as both an emblem of cultural significance and a potential catalyst for environmental change. It has become increasingly clear that our current environmental situation is treacherous, and if we don't want our planet to burn, we need to speak now or we will never be out of the woods. It is clear that the need for innovative, sustainable solutions has never been more pressing, and this project is me trying to propose actionable solutions for sustainability within the entertainment industry. The Eras Tour is an iconic event that exemplifies the impressive nature of the entertainment industry. From bejeweled performances to groundbreaking stage design, the tour has transcended the boundaries of music and transformed into a multidimensional spectacle. However, as we enjoy the glamour and artistry of such productions, we know all too well that we cannot afford to ignore the ecological toll they have on our already struggling planet. If you can tolerate it, I hope to examine the web of interconnected systems that sustain the Eras Tour. This project aims to spark conversations, inspire change, and drive the entertainment industry toward a sustainable and environmentally responsible future. This project examines the Eras Tour from two different perspectives. One focuses on consumers of the entertainment, while the other examines the entertainers themselves. This allows for a two-pronged approach when considering sustainable solutions later on. We will begin by examining the consumer diagram. One element stands out across almost all loops, and that is increased CO2 emissions. This mainly comes from transit and resource consumption. As tour dates were announced, hype around the concerts grew. This led to a cycle of more tour dates being announced, at least 4 times now. This ever-growing increase in the number of people attending the concerts has led to increased consumption. This comes from outfits purchased for the concert, friendship bracelets, and food and drinks purchased at the show. This growing number of people attending the shows led to positive impacts in the realm of tourism. The economic benefits of tourism in a town are huge. However, along with tourism comes transit. People have to get to the show somehow, whether they drive, fly, or take public transit. And transit is a big source of CO2 emissions. Many venues have encouraged people to take public transit when possible, which can result in a reduction in CO2 emissions. All of these factors feed into environmental degradation. The concept of environmental degradation was at the core of where my research started. I wanted to find out what elements of a tour lead to environmental degradation. This brings us to our first proposed solution, carbon offsets for consumer transit. While it would be nice if we could rely on public transit, in the US we often lack access to reliable or any public transit. If Taylor Swift were to purchase carbon offsets for consumer transit, the expense would likely only count for about 1% of ticket prices. It is worth noting that carbon offsets are a divisive issue with limited viability, and they should not serve as a solution that replaces actually cutting emissions. However, while we work on creating better solutions, I believe that these serve as a solid placeholder. The performer loop starts at the same place as the consumer loop, with an increase in hype creating an increase in tour dates in a cyclical growth pattern. Due to the number of and geographical distance between shows, it became necessary to build 2 sets of the massive stage. This means double the amount of resources used for sets. We see high energy use from set building, as well as transportation and running the show. Transportation is a massive factor, especially when you consider the need to transport the stage, equipment, crew, and performers. Again, we see all of this leading to environmental degradation. The number of tour dates impacts environmental degradation in so many different ways. There are a lot of obvious things like CO2 emissions and energy consumption, and there are also the less obvious impacts like clothes laundering. There are a lot of costumes. This brings us to our second solution, using EVs, biofuels, and sustainable aviation fuels. By choosing to utilize alternative fuels such as biodiesel or electricity, Swift's team can greatly reduce their CO2 emissions. Electric semi-trucks are not currently available, but there are several biodiesel alternatives. Biodiesel is found to reduce CO2 emissions by about 78%. Sometimes Swift must fly to her destination, and she is often criticized for using her private jets. However, given the way hundreds of fans crashed a wedding she was recently attending, I think we can safely say that Swift is not able to fly commercially. To reduce this impact, Swift should source sustainable aviation fuel. Because this is still an emerging technology with a lot of variability in fuel composition, the CO2 reduction estimates are varied, but it is generally thought that they have the potential to reduce emissions by about 80%. Solution 3 utilizes strategic route planning. With 146 states spanning 5 continents, it is inevitable that Swift, her team, and gear will need to do some flying. However, strategic route planning could drastically reduce the amount of flights they need to take. This is a tactic that Coldplay has been using for a long time to reduce their emissions. By road tripping across the country, there will be boosts to local economies in the cities and towns all along their route. We know that we need innovative and sustainable solutions that can be applied to every facet of life, and the entertainment industry is no exception. If we want to continue to experience live entertainment on a massive scale, we have to start to consider the impacts these events have on the future of our planet. The question is, can mega events like the Eras Tour operate sustainably? Do we have the technologies and solutions we need to reduce carbon footprint and environmental degradation while still preserving the magic and wonder that is live entertainment? Coldplay is one of the biggest actors in the sustainable entertainment industry to date. Through stringent and rigorous measures, they have reduced their CO2 emissions by 47% from their last tour. This leads me to believe that yes, these mega events can operate sustainably, and yes, we do have the technologies and solutions needed. To monitor sustainability in the entertainment industry, we can examine sustainability indicators from each of the 3 pillars of sustainability. In the social dimension, we can ensure a diverse and inclusive group of talent is included in the cast and crew, and we can examine community engagement. Economically, we can evaluate the financial impacts of the tour with a specific focus on tourism revenue in the towns where the tour visits. And we can examine the affordability and accessibility of attending the concert to understand the economic inclusivity of the tour. Part of sustainability is making sure that there is equal access to cultural experiences. And in the ecological dimension, we can calculate carbon emissions related to the tour, and we can measure the amount of waste generated and the effectiveness of any recycling programs a venue uses. While these indicators provide a well-rounded assessment of sustainability, some indicators will be challenging to accurately measure, or they will face issues of subjectivity. However, with time and continued efforts in data collection, we should begin to see clear trends emerge. This exploration of sustainability within the entertainment industry, specifically through the lens of the Eras Tour, has unveiled the delicate and complex web of interconnected systems that contribute to environmental, social, and economic dimensions of sustainability. By understanding these linkages between sustainability and entertainment, we can begin to identify solutions to help us to avoid having more cruel summers. The scope of this project led me to center my research on the environmental aspects of the entertainment industry within systems thinking. In reality, a thorough examination with a more focused consideration across all 3 pillars of sustainability is needed. It is my intention to continue this work in the future to create a more complete analysis of sustainability in the entertainment industry. Don't blame me if someday soon tours like this are operating sustainably in a world that is much more safe and sound. Long story short, I am feeling optimistic. The case of Coldplay demonstrates that sustainable tours are not only feasible, but they can also be incredibly successful. The Eras Tour and others like it have the potential to adopt sustainable practices, reduce their environmental impacts, and contribute positively to social and economic aspects. We have the opportunity to foster change in the entertainment industry. It is my hope we come to see the magic of live entertainment coexist harmoniously with the well-being of our planet. Thank you for watching.